Hello again, everyone. My name is Osborne, and welcome back to another episode of Perilous Paths. If you're just tuning in, and you usually watch Perilous Paths on this fine night, then Cutie is unfortunately not able to be here as he is out of town, and so I will be taking over Perilous Paths this weekend, as well as hosting my show after this as well. So, with that being said, we have been having some amazing Costume Quest action in honor of the 15th anniversary of Costume Quest. We had the first game and then the DLC. First game by Harsh, the DLC, a race between Harsh and Bob's Love Cheese. And now we are passing the baton over to Bob's Love Cheese for a full run of Costume Quest 2 here. Before we begin, I want to do a small announcement. And just want to shout out the Black in a Flash community. Black in a Flash is a community that uplifts and connects Black speedrunners of all levels, hosting special events throughout the year to raise money for charity and celebrate Black voices in the speedrunning scene. Learn more or apply to get involved at gdq.gg/BAF and follow at blackinaflash.bsky.social on Blue Sky for the latest updates. And I wanted to shout that out because they just recently released their schedule for Speeding Through the Holidays, an event that's going to come up at the very end of the year in December. So if you want to check out that schedule and support Black in a Flash community, then please type !BAF in chat and go to their page where you can see all the information and even apply yourself in the community if you would like to. Now, with that being said, let's go straight into Costume Quest 2 Any Percent by Bob's Love Cheese.
All right, as Oz said, I'm Bob Loves Cheese. I am running Costume Quest 2 Any Percent today. I'm very excited to show off this run. If you guys haven't seen the other two runs that we just did, it is not important. It is a little bit different than Costume Quest 1, and we'll kind of point those things out as we go, but there are some similarities because, of course, it is the same Costume Quest series. I am the current world record holder for the game, and I like to think of Costume Quest 2 as my little love child. I've put so many hours and so much time into this game and this run over the years, and I'm very, very excited to be able to show it off on the GDQ Hotfix stage. I'm being joined by my co-commentator Harsh. You can go ahead and say hello.
Hi guys. Costume Quest 1 not important. I resent that.
Well,
anyway.
We can agree to disagree.
Anyway, yeah, Costume Quest 2. Awesome game. Look at all these spooky portals. Where we're gonna go.
Yes, not nearly as many skips as there are in Costume Quest 1, although there might be a similar number, just much smaller amount of time save. The way quests in this game work is you can't start the next quest until the previous quest has been finished, even if you can make it to the start of the next quest. So it's really difficult to actually do any skips, but we manage. But yeah, I think there's a good bit of tutorial at the start, so if there's anything that needs to be explained, we will just explain it when we're going through this tutorial. But I am ready, and I will go and give a countdown. So on go, we will start the run. 3, 2, 1, and go. So yeah, we're picking up right as the end of Costume Quest, Grubs on Ice, because we're wearing the pirate costume, the eyeball costume. We never got the eyeball, but the pirate costume we did have in the first game. So we're here instantly, already skipping a whole ton of lore. The general premise of this game is that there's a lot of time travel, and we're trying to defeat this evil dentist who wants to stop Halloween. He hates candy, hates all this kind of stuff. So we're here in the future right now because he's taken over the world, and our friends Everett and Lucy have come back to the present time to try to kind of save us from, or help us help them save the future in Halloween.
Oh yeah. So Corvus is just going to be teaching us a couple moves. First one is just the basic attacking of the game. If you guys have played Paper Mario, this like circular timing hits thing, it's very similar. So the battle systems between the first and second game are quite different. And this one you have to more time your hits, whereas the other one you had to just kind of attack. But we'll get into this later on. So Bob does the superhero special. Superhero is an awesome costume, by the way. reminds me of like the Incredibles.
Yeah, we'll
It is a
use
very
that
nice
costume throughout
costume.
the entire run. So hope you're not sick of it. This is also the only fight we get to use candy corn in. There's another category on the boards called hard corn mode, and that's where you have to use candy corn in every fight. That's in French. So candy corn has these fun little things that he says. That's the only thing candy corn does. He just sits there. The one benefit of candy corn is that he has a higher chance of getting attacked by enemies. Candy corn is registered as a deadly weapon, as he says. A deadly weapon that doesn't do any damage to anybody. But there is an achievement to defeat every fight with candy corn. So
let us know if you're a candy corn enjoyer in chat today.
Yeah, candy corn. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so we're actually going to end up getting a faster cycle here. It's going to goof up the fight a little bit, but normally if your hero gets attacked 3 times, then we'll build up our special meter and be able to end the fight 1 turn sooner. So we're going to actually get that here, sort of. Again, I did kind of goof it up, but it's going to end up working out here. And that's going to be the end of the tutorial fight, and that means that is the end of candy corn. We will not see candy corn again.
Rip candy corn.
Yep. And so now we're in the past. So in the first like 5 minutes of the run, we've been in the present, future, and back to the past. So this game takes place in Louisiana. So we're in the French Quarter and the swamps of Louisiana here. We're on
swamps. We find alligators.
And more importantly, clowns. Because we get the clown costume. So this is Monty's Gator Giddy Up. This is his little gator ranch. And he wants us to help him out by getting the clown costume, and there it is. So just like the first game, several costumes have these overworld abilities, and that's the clowns. It's the honk the clown horn. And we do so much.
There's actually an achievement for honking the clown horn 1,000 times. And Bob is going to be doing that in this run, of course.
I will not be doing that, actually. I will be actually honking it as few times as I can, pretty much. But the clown horn does a couple things. It kind of moves these gators out of the way. I believe that's the only 2 gators we need to move out of the way. There's that. It can also knock some birds out of the way. Though we'll see those in a little bit. I don't think we actually run into any. But there's also some quests. A lot of people really like or really hate the clown horn. So we're going to come here, and we need to do some quests before we can actually start doing some fights. So we're going to talk to this band, and they want us to drum up a crowd. So we do that by honking our horn at these random passerbys, and they say, "What? That sounds terrible." I'm like, "Okay, well, if you want music, go watch this band." So we got to do that with 3 of these little pedestrians around. We're also getting some candy as we go by going to these houses.
That's a foolproof
also
marketing.
Moving in a particular pattern to specifically avoid hitting a certain trigger. By avoiding like some certain line level, we can use that to basically backtrack faster. So anyway, this minigame right here Bob is playing, you basically just have to honk a couple times to the music whenever they give you cues.
Yeah, you only have to do it once per cue, or else they'll yell at you. But
yeah, you only have to do it once. But Bob loves the clown noise, so
yeah, who doesn't, honestly? So yeah,
fun sometimes because it's a little something to record.
Yeah, just spam the button. We're gonna get a lot of that in a minute here, but first we have to get this costume piece. This is the last costume piece we need for this costume. We still need to get the costume pattern, which we're gonna backtrack for. But we're gonna go run in here, and the thing we got from completing that quest, along with some XP, we also got some music cred, which allows us to come in here and play for Harmonious Minx Jazz Band. And I've honked a couple times, and that's all I need to do, but just for fun.
Yeah, in this one, we kind of get our little break early on. A nice little breather before we start getting into intense battling.
And I can't even honk here.
Is this how you play jazz?
This is a nice jazz piece.
Yeah, New Orleans is known for its jazz. So we're going to get the reward for this quest is some XP, but we're also going to get $50, which will come into play later. But this whole starting time with these kind of cleanup quests and whatever is to get us ready for the battles. because in the first game, once you start battles or once you start fighting at level 1, you don't earn any new abilities. You get some new stamps and whatnot. You get some new costumes, but you don't learn any new battle abilities. In this game, every 3 levels, you get to learn a new ability, but you have to go all the way back to Corvus to do that. So we're pretty much just maxing out what we can do here in the first area. And we're going to be hitting level 3 as quick as possible and doing a couple other cleanup things. And we're also going to be going back to Corvus to get that ability, which we'll talk about in a minute. First, I want to talk about, I'll let Harsh explain it, but we're going to be buying some DLC costumes, if you want to explain that, Harsh.
Oh, yes. So, when the game first came out, if you pre-ordered it, you get, I think it was like a code or something that gave you basically 5 costumes. Couple of them, 3 of them are returners from the first game, which were the pumpkin, robot, and unicorn, I think.
Unicorn.
And then
unicorn.
there
and
is
Eyeballs also
eyeball
here.
from eyeball from Grubbins on Ice, and then for some reason Sackboy.
Yeah, like the PlayStation mascot.
Yeah.
I love Sackboy.
The devs are friends with the Sackboy devs.
I think it was a PlayStation exclusive, so you're not supposed to get this on PC, but we cheated a little bit. But I'd also like to point out this game came out in 2014, and I did not pre-order this game because in 2014 I was 11. So if anybody out there feels old by that, and you're welcome.
Bob,
because
when it was 2014, I pre-ordered this game. I got all the costumes.
No, I'm on Bob's side here. I'm on Bob's side. I'm also the same age. I was also 11 in 2014.
Yep, I cheated.
No, the truth is, I didn't know this game existed until about 3 years ago. But part of my life, and part of your childhood and your life.
Yeah. And something I did just here, Harsh kind of mentioned it earlier, but in the specific areas I kind of walked around, allowed me to avoid some fountain triggers, and these are essentially the save points in the game. And that meant I could run into that snail enemy, not have to fight him, and then get teleported right back exactly where I wanted to be. So this is how we unlock the combos ability. Combos is, normally we just do 1 hit per attack, but combos you get like a second hit that does a little bit less damage, but it does really add up when you can do all this extra damage. So I think at this level it's an extra like 15 damage per hit for every single person in every fight. So it saves a whole lot of time. And now that we're done with that, we are done with the tutorial, so we can actually get to fighting some things. So just like in the first game, in this area at least, you have to go to every single house, no matter if they have candy or if they have an enemy. So you have to go to all 3, or sorry, not all 3, there's like 20, and fight all the enemies there. And then we'll get to unlock the area that takes us to the first boss. You can actually get there early, but unfortunately we do not have the trigger there yet to actually start the fight. So we actually do have to do all of this stuff. One fun thing about these fights here is, as you can see, there's 2 enemies that we're fighting right now. That's random. I think there's 6 different enemy combinations in this area, and you can get any of them.
Like
they're all
single fights, you can have double fights, or you can have triple fights.
Yes, so obviously a single enemy is the fastest. There's also one set of 2 enemies that's almost as fast. It's a little bit slower. Not this combinations, or the different combination, but there's a whole lot of RNG in this game just based purely off of that. Because obviously best RNG would be that you get a single enemy in every single fight in the entire game, but that's obviously not.
Bob just got a card drop. So cards are kind of like the big mechanic of this game. So Ghost Punch over there, we need that for a quest that we'll be resolving after all these battles. That quest gives us experience points to get to certain levels so that we can make the threshold for experience. But card drops are also like random. They go under like a pool, I think, of like 5 or 6 cards like per area. This area is like you'll eventually get all the card drops and everything. When you get them.
Yeah, but we end up skipping. Oh, never mind. We got it first and second try. Well, we don't need to talk about what happens if we don't.
There's nothing to worry about now. Yeah,
give a round of applause in chat for that.
If you don't get it, like if you don't get them like before a certain point, you basically lose like 30, 40 seconds that.
Yeah, actually, you have to backtrack to where the enemy is, and we don't like doing
It's
that.
not the worst thing in the world if you don't get it. And right there, Bob used Nubbins. He's going to use the Nubbins card on robots so that he can use the special and massive damage. We picked up Nubbins by the spell earlier. Nubbins is probably one of the most broken cards in this game. We'll be using this card, as well as 2 other ones we'll be picking up later on in the run. Quite a bit.
Yeah, because Nubbins does, when you play it on a specific hero, they will do 2 times damage for the next 3 attacks. And, you know, when you use it and they have like a normal attack, that's fine. But if you use it in combination with a special attack, which does a lot more damage anyway, it really helps you out a lot, especially on the boss fights. We basically spam those for boss fights.
Oh yeah. You know, these enemies, we generally want to get our special meters as high as possible because using all your specials equals faster fights, generally.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of routing on the fly because obviously we can't count for like how many enemies we're going to be fighting, and a lot of the card drops as well. So there's a lot of just on the fly routing you have to do. I'm like, when do I use this special? When do I use this card? There is one card that if you get optimally can save like 2 minutes or something like that. So it's something that we really want to have going into late game, but you only have 3 chances to get it, or else the card can't drop anymore. But we'll get there when we get there. But a lot of RNG with these card drops, a lot of RNG with the enemy fights and whatnot.
Bob, the card we just use air with Suck'em. Basically, that lets us attack twice in 1 turn, which is nice because not only does it also get our special meetups, it also kind of clears these enemies faster. So I don't know if it was mentioned yet, but Robot was attacking those techs over there. So there is actually like super effective damage and stuff in this game. There's like type advantages, kind of like Pokemon. Like I don't know exactly how it works, but basically like Robot is good against those tech enemies. Anything that's like a monster, Pumpkin and Dino are like really good against. And like every costume has their own like type chart on what's good and what's bad.
Because there's only 3 types. So every costume has one that they're strong against and one they're weak against. So,
and
for
the
example,
other one's magic, I think. Yeah, magic.
Yeah,
monster.
it says magic, monster, and tech. So there's no magic enemies over here in this area. So we kind of just max it out by having 2 enemies that are strong to monster and then 1 that's strong to tech, since those are the only 2 that can spawn over here. And there are more monster enemies than tech enemies.
I gotta say, one thing that's common among these Costume Quest games is the love for Pumpkin. We just use him so darn much.
Yeah, we touched on what he did in the other 2 games, but we'll explain it again. For every time you use his special ability, it cuts everybody's health in half in the whole fight. So it really helps you out a whole lot when you have 3 enemies and they're just all of a sudden right at the start of the fight they're at half health. So it is very beneficial for these fights. We don't end up using specials too much, because the enemies in the second area in the French Quarter have more health and they do more damage and whatnot. So the fights take longer. So we really want to prioritize having all of our specials ready for those fights, rather than trying to speed up these fights, which are relatively quick anyway. We kind of want to focus more on the slower fights and the longer ones with their specials. So we'll end
as you can see, the DLC costumes just do so much damage, which is why we get them. So Bob just did the Ghost Munch card quest there. So he gives us 300 experience points to get us level 4 later on.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like much, but once we get to our last trick-or-treat house, that will get us just, I think, 50 XP over the threshold to get to level 4.
Yeah,
so it's pretty important.
Yeah, the DLC costumes are so good, to say the least. Like, if we didn't have Pumpkin or Robot here, we would have to use Clown. And Clown, like, I remember on my casual playthrough, was so terrible.
Yeah, we need Clown, and Superhero's definitely not bad. But is, like I said, is not superhero strong to magic, so it wouldn't be strong to any of the monster types over in this area.
Yeah.
So we use these to help us out. We used to use Pumpkin's been in the route for a long time. Robot is a relatively new addition to the route. I say relatively because it's still been over a year that we've been using them. But that's the French Quarter. Sorry, that's the Bayou trick or treating done. We're gonna head up to the French Quarter, which has the enemies with more health. Also, there's less enemy patterns here, so you can't get any single enemy fights. They all are either 2 or 3 enemies, mostly 3, like in this example. So there's a sort of an XP route, or not XP route, a special route that we kind of use. I like to use 2 in the first fight, 1 in the second, and then just try to get them all ready after that, because we do have a boss fight when we're done with this area. So we want to make sure all of our specials are ready to go into that boss fight.
So on this first fight, we're going to use like our slot 1 and slot 3 specials with the pumpkin and superhero, just to do, because they do like basically damage to everybody on the field. And on the second fight, we're going to use the middle guy's specials.
Yeah, and that worked out pretty well because I got the 2 magic enemies here are gonna pair well with me having the superhero special, because it is a little bit of a gamble there of which one we're using. So I did choose correctly.
Yeah, it's also important to knock those healers out right away, because you let them live, they will heal.
They're not as bad in this game. In the first game, they're pretty bad. They heal a lot more in that game than this game. But still, you want to kind of see how well you can get those guys out of the way as soon as possible.
Yeah, I would say overall in this game, the difficulty, they definitely made it a lot more fair, a lot less luck-based, and also just there's a lot more strategy to this speedrun, unlike the first game, where the first game's more about glitches and some risky stuff. This one's more flexible with, you get to strategize. If, like, you don't get certain card drops, or if you're in, like, a bad situation, there's usually a solution around it. And
you
a lot
can
of
always
this
figure something out, whether or not it's slow, but you can always get there.
Yeah, there's always, like, something else you can do if, this... To some, like, like, that's why I like running this game a lot, because it's just, every run just feels so different every time.
Boy, Robot's quite low health right now. It'll be fine. Yeah. The important part about this fight is getting all your specials back. So I'm not too worried about that. If he does die, he'll fill up his special meter, because you get your special meter filled both by attacking and by defending. And his is full now anyway, so the middle special is not as important to get full, because you don't use it in this fight, you don't use it in this next boss fight, use it in the boss fight after.
Yeah.
But we'll
I guess
get there.
The other thing to mention is
to be full here.
Yeah, I guess the other thing to mention is, like, so unlike the first game, you don't get automatically healed after every battle. You have to actually, you can spend candy to heal in the overworld, or you can talk to fountains. So there's also, like, a little bit of, like, strategy to that, in that you can heal in the overworld, but you don't want to, like, use too much candy, because we do have a bit of a candy route to cards later on. So that's the final fight in French Quarters, which is nice. Now we're going to head over to this area to visit this kid named Oral. Basically, his mom doesn't...
White, I'll point out, and he's a dentist.
He's a dentist, yeah. Basically, he doesn't... his mom doesn't want him to go trick-or-treating, and then that kind of made him hate trick-or-treating and Halloween in general. So...
Yeah, so he steals the candy from us, we get it back, and then we go take it to Lil Bones, who is the one that's going to take us to this island. Because this is how we're stopping the evil dentist. He gets this talisman through this... that opens this portal that gets all these monsters in. So if we can go to this island, we can get there before he does. We can stop him.
And this little guy is the Big Bones of the past. Back when he was actually nice. Still like Scandal. So anyway, entering the first boss fight.
Very quick, so explain quickly, Harsh.
Okay, so, yeah, Bob is going to, first off, use the pumpkin special to lower his HP in half. Then he is going to use the Nubbins card we used before on Superhero, so that he can use the special and get him down to his phase 2. So his special does quite a bit of damage over here. Just also kill the clock enemy or kill the other guy at the same time really fast as a result. And then we do we kill the clock, and then we kill Chronoculus. You cannot kill Chronoculus without killing the clock.
Yeah, and the clock's important because if he's holding it for long enough, then he will just heal himself back up to full health.
Yep.
So we want to make sure we get that
with
done.
a whoops hit, and we get the Frostbites card from defeating Dorsilla. We'll be using Frostbites later on. So Bob is going to run into an enemy really quick here, and we're going to run away so that we can teleport back to the beginning of the stage like before.
Yeah, fun fact, I found out about this teleporting thing on accident. I did it once on accident. I just happened to avoid the triggers. I'm like, that could be fast.
Anyway, we go back in the past.
We ended up failing. So we wanted to go back to Everett and Lucy to see what was going on, and then they got overwhelmed by the dental drones, and then the dental drones captured us and took us to this dental boarding school. Which
Yoda is teaching us the importance of brushing your teeth.
Yes. These guys look a lot like Metzel. They're the same race. We don't really know what the race of this character is called. It's probably somewhere. Death might know. Death knows everything. Sorry, the speedrunner Death, not just the concept of death. I should specify.
Death Master 001.
Yes, the speedrunner person. So yeah, this is a bit of a slow area. We're trying to get out of. So we got kicked out of class and sent to detention, and then then we're in detention. Say, hey, we need to use the bathroom. And this little robot thing scans us. Said, no, you don't. You don't need to go to the bathroom. And then the teacher says, actually, I need to go to the bathroom. Don't go anywhere. And so then, of course, as soon as the teacher leaves, we run off. And we get joined by Haley, who's actually the daughter of Everett and Lucy. Because they get married in the future, they have a daughter, and she also had been thrown into detention. So
happy ending.
Yeah, good for them. But she tells us that she had her costume that had been confiscated from her, and we need to get those costume pieces back. And this is my favorite costume in all of the Costume Quest series. It is Thomas Jefferson. Who doesn't like Thomas Jefferson?
The third president? Whoa.
Yes, and he has a overworld ability called diplomacy. So he can essentially talk to different people with diplomacy, and they'll do what he wants. So that guy was in the way. I forgot. I don't
think that's how diplomacy works. But you know what?
Don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna think about it.
Diplomacy, brainwashing. What's the difference?
Yeah, no, it works. He talks to them in such a nice voice with such nice vocabulary.
Have you ever tried showing someone the Declaration of Independence and suddenly they'll just agree with everything you say?
Principal Bojan.
Yes, this is I believe the son of Bojan from the first games. So he's back, sort of. It's either the son or like the nephew or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But he's back. I'd also like to point out something here that I find really funny, which will maybe become relevant in a couple seconds. When you normally defeat a boss fight, a cutscene will play and they'll kind of like crumble away like, oh, you defeated me. I'm so hurt, blah, blah, blah. And usually no boss fights disappear. If an enemy disappears, it means they died. And I'm just going to point that out, for no particular reason, just for fun. Maybe watch what happens when we defeat Bojem, just as a heads up. I'll just point that out. But no, it's not relevant.
Are you about to murder
this is kind
Bojem?
of a boring fight. Yeah. It's kind of a boring fight because we kind of just spam normal hits. We do get to use Pumpkin's ability twice. Which is pretty useful. We get to use Frostbites, different card, the Creepy Treat card, and we got that from defeating Chronoculus. It's one of the, if not the only, no, it's one of the only guaranteed card drops in the entire run. There's technically one more I can think of, at least in any percent. And Bojem disappeared, which means canonically, we just killed that man. He is dead.
Yeah. And this is also actually a horror where game. Card drops also start becoming like a major factor. So Bojan and like the next boss have like a pool of 6 or so cards that can drop, and 2 of them are very, very important for the end game. Can just change the routes and time dramatically as a result.
Yeah, one card in particular literally saves 2 minutes. So
Yeah, if we don't get it, then we'll say what the card is. But for now, we'll just leave it in mystery. Oh, yeah, we're in what is this? Downtown
this is
or
Auburn Pines?
This is Auburn Pines of the future. So I like World 2 because a lot of it is just basically movement. There's like trick-or-treat houses and stuff you have to trick-or-treat at, but we're only getting candy. We're not doing like any battles or anything. Like this is all about making cycles and like movement. So like if you make a cycle like right here before this robot drone, you can actually just hug the tree over there and just completely avoid him. And we are also collecting a couple costume pieces along the way to get a costume we'll get to later. Now let's see if Bob made the cycle.
You did kind of forget to mention, I did the first two wall rides of the run, if you want to explain what those are.
Oh, yeah. So wall rides in this game. So in this game, everybody can move at double time speed or like skate like Robot did in the first game. But the nice thing is if you like hug the corners or like of like certain parts of like the chest or like some of the overworld, you can kind of slightly hover. And if you just kind of do it at the right angle, you can actually like go up like chests or like objects.
Yeah, so right at the start, after I got those first two houses, I did a wall ride between a fence and the and a part of a tree. So that allowed me to skip one of the dental drones and just go right over to the chest with the snail. And then right after that, I did that again, but with the chest and the snail. So I'm about to do another one here. This actually skips a what's supposed to be a required fight. One of the few like required fight skips we have in the game. So I'll let Harsh explain that in a second. But we are already in the second area of the sewers. It goes by very quick.
Oh yeah. So now we're going to be using diplomacy. We were basically using diplomacy just to talk to people and get through like dialogue faster. So we're going to do another wall ride right here to jump off the building, talk to this dude. And we're going to do a nice, cool trick over here by swapping to the dino and timing it so that during his flash attack and using like the pale hit attack, you can cancel the animation time and you can basically move during it, get the hide and seek kid at the same time. So right here's probably one of the most important wall rides in the game. He's going to wall ride above this chest. It can be kind of finicky. Sometimes you can get a first try, sometimes you can get a little late. And this gives us another costume piece. This lets us skip a mole fight, which used to be in the run, but that fight took forever, so now we don't.
Yeah, it's like a minute long or something. So we kind of just don't do it. You're supposed to, before you're able to open the chest, you're supposed to have to fight that mole. And the only way you can get there is by either getting on top of it or behind it on the left side. So if you like get on top and fall off, you can open the chest. But if you fall off on the left side, there's no way to get out of there without getting caught by the mole. So if it's kind of finicky, but if you hold on and kind of stay on top of the chest, then that'll allow you to kind of stay there and get the chest without falling off.
So we just got the mummy costume over there.
Done with East Side.
Yeah, mummy costume we'll be using in the overworld to glide across some ropes a few times. We're not going to be using them in the fighting, but it's a shame because the special is pretty cool. Now we're going to the final area of the second world. So we got to do. Bob's been rescuing also hide and seek kids along the way. Basically, they give us stat boosts, make the damage outputs better. So we're gonna go to Shady over here. He is going to sell us. We're gonna buy a superhero upgrade and Sour Dumps. Sour Dumps is a very, very important card. And what that card does, it replenishes all the heroes' specials. And now the thing with the cards is we can't use the cards in every single fight. There's a cooldown. You have to wait a couple turns before you can reuse them. But just getting one use out of that just gives you more specials. So we're going to be collecting some candy here. We're trying to make a cycle with this guy over here. Because you have to wait anyway, it's faster to get something. We're going to go trick-or-treating over here. You don't actually have to
fight him. You can sneak behind him, as we'll see in a minute. And I don't think I really need this candy. It's more just for fun, because we're waiting anyway. So it is a bit finicky to get behind this guy. You can't just wait for him to turn around, like go behind him when he stops here. I'm going to be attempting to go past him down here. Be very careful. And there we go. It's so scary, but it's really not that difficult. But if you kind of go out a little bit too far to the left, then you will end up getting caught by him. And once you get caught by him, I mean, you lose minutes. You might as well just fight him anyway, because then you're going to be stuck waiting for him. But that's kind of the whole point of this entire area, is waiting for these cycles. But we're done with that because we're going to do another wall ride in here in a minute to kind of just avoid going back over to that other side. Yeah, the whole point of this section is you need to get somebody to agree to give up his billboard, because there's this club over here. This guy's got a billboard that's getting all of the business is going to his club, and he wants him to sign. This guy we're going back to wants him to get that billboard and sign it over to him. So now he does that, and everybody joins his club, and I think he even mentions like, oh, a 10-year contract. I don't see any problem with that. We'll see a problem with that in a minute, but very quickly I'm going to be doing this final wall ride. I think we have one more in the run, but this one's a little bit weird because you can't do this at 30 FPS or 60 FPS. You have to turn off 60 hertz, and because of the lower frame rate, it changes the physics somehow. We don't really understand. But then we talk to this last guy, and we can see why that guy gave up his billboard so easily. It's because he just smacks another one right in front of it. So he's stuck with that now. And now we're done with the sewers.
Yeah, World 2. That was a lot of cool skips.
That was a really good world.
Yeah, now we're approaching
it's so much fun to run that.
Now we're approaching the third boss fight of the game. So we're gonna swap some costumes out, swap some cards, and we are going to fight Ophirion.
Ophirion.
He's just like this big dude with like a lot of teeth. He's scary, actually. So, goal of this fight is just pretty much use specials once again to speed up. We're going to use Suckums on Jefferson to get his special, and we're also going to use that turn to get Sour Dumps. So that we can
we want to make sure. Right here, there's a lot of special routing that's going on. It's kind of hard to tell what exactly we're using this for, but we're not going to use superhero special because if we use it now, this fight's going to go by too quickly. And then the next fight, I guess there's one more fight and then a boss fight. Ooh, I did not dodge that attack.
Did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I definitely pressed the button. I promise.
But yeah, we're going to be conserving superhero special for the next fight. Because after this boss fight, we don't really have much like fights in between the next boss fight. So we want to conserve our specials, and we're not going to have like our cards for a while either. But yeah, this is I'd say this is kind of just a long fight. There's really much to it. I love the futuristic city.
Yeah, I definitely think the fights in this game have a lot cooler settings.
I guess I do really enjoy the setting of this particular fight. He's giving Mojo Jojo this boss right now. I'm not gonna lie. But
yeah, he's pretty cool. There's also, we kind of talked about the abilities earlier. We don't get any other abilities from Corvus, but there is one for counters. This guy is really easy to see who he's about to attack. He literally says it. But if you counter his abilities, his armor on his body will start to fall off. He starts to like scream and cry and stuff. It's kind of funny see him wailing away. But we're getting close to cleaning up this fight here. We got a okay, Pumpkin's probably gonna die here, but that's fine. He'll get a little bit of that's all right. It literally loses no time because we're just gonna finish up the fight here.
Good, Pumpkin.
Yeah, good work, Pumpkin. I'm proud of you for surviving after I missed a block.
Let's see if he gets the thing.
No, that used to be a really important card, but not anymore.
Darn. Well, luckily for us, there is one more good opportunity to get the card that we want. So we're obviously going to be getting in the next fight. So no worries.
Yeah. So we, to kind of catch you guys up on the lore, we defeated Ophirion. We got to the future dental compound. And then we actually ended up walking into a jail cell. So we need to figure out how to break Everett and Lucy out. But I'm about to be doing probably the hardest skip in the run, so I'm gonna let Harsh kind of explain while I try to focus in on that.
Yeah, so this is another cycle we have to make. First off, we're gonna get some Costume Quest pieces. There is a snail that's coming up that we are going to try to skip. Bob is just gonna go through this cycle, and by just kind of like walking slowly with like the wizard costume and like spamming like the menu and just timing it, just at the point where the snail is about to turn.
Oh my god,
right
that was
there.
so close.
Wow, that was
I was
sick.
scared.
So
that was scum.
Yeah, at the exact frame that snail is about to turn, that is when we unpause the game and just like pretty much go low and go left. And we're gonna buy the final upgrade of the game right there, Jefferson upgrade. It'll do a lot of damage.
I'm not gonna lie, that scared me. Yeah, because the way that skip works is you have to pause buffer. I started pause buffering too late, and then when he did turn, I pause buffered one more time, so I had even less time to turn. But it ended up working out fine, so no worries
really
there.
Impressive. Claps in chat for that. Please.
Yeah, there is a faster cycle I can do on that actually, because I only got one costume piece before I went over to the snail. You can actually get both costume pieces if you're fast enough, and then just barely make it. You essentially get there, and then you pause buffer once or twice, and he's already turning around.
Yeah. And we switched to wizard in this fight because we get the second guy low enough HP that wizard splash damage actually knocks him out. So slightly faster to use wizard for this one scenario.
It's useful, and we're gonna get Jefferson is almost gonna have a special ready. Fortunately, he doesn't need to have it ready for this boss fight, so it doesn't matter if it's ready or not. And we're all ready for next boss fight. Let me just do a little bit of setup, get my cards ready, and there we go. So we broke that TV screen. That's gonna let Everett and Lucy out, but it's also gonna let a little bit of an old friend here out, Chronoculus. And just like the first game, he's back, but he kind of sucks now. So we're gonna do our best to get through this fight as quickly as possible by using a combination of our specials, nubbins, and pumpkin special. He also has an ability called Time Freeze, which we actually didn't get to see in the first fight because we beat him so fast. He didn't have a chance to use it.
Time Freeze
sucks.
It's very annoying. Basically, it just stuns you for a few turns, and you're unable to do anything. You can still finish the fight off just fine. It's just 2 turns of no attacking things.
Yeah, because like if superhero gets stunned, then your fight's gonna be like 30 seconds slower. And now we're going to see it's the last opportunity to get that special card. If we don't get it, I'll let Harsh explain what it is as I go through. But Chronoculus does have the highest chance to drop it, I believe. Come on. Nope. Okay, well, you can go and explain what Smoochies is and how much faster it makes run, how useful it is.
Right. So the card we were trying to get from the last 3 boss fights, it's a card called Smoochies. So it's kind of like Sour Dumps in that it replenishes all of our specials. But the difference is it replenishes the specials after the battle is over. So it makes sections such as these, this part over here, Escort, really, really fast because we can have like all of our specials like ready for one battle, and then we use Smoochies in one fight, and then we'll have all the specials ready for the next fight. Bob has like a bit of like a we have like a huge like big strategy. Like if you get Smoochies, we have like the fastest possible route you can get through some of these fights. Because again, they're randomized between 2 people or 3 people fights or single fights. But with the Smoochies card, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter slightly, but it matters a lot less like what enemies you get because you can just blaze through these fights really fast. Right there, we got.
You essentially just cancel out the RNG a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there, Bob got Peepers. That is one of the card drops. It's not necessary to finish the run, but it does speed up the final boss a little bit. So there is one last card drop we are kind of banking on getting in this area as well as the next section. We'll get to that when we get to the next area. If we don't pick up the card, I'll say what it is by then.
Yeah, but these fights are pretty similar to what they were in the first area, but all the way back in Bayou and French Quarter, they have similar layout where there's one of like 6 different types of like fight setups you can get. You can get specific like 3 enemies or 2 enemies, and then one enemy. And you know, like Harsh was saying, though, the reason that Smoochie's card is so good is kind of you can essentially spam your specials as much as you want, and you don't have to worry about replenishing them at all. You just use all your specials and then just, you know, get them ready for the next fight with Smoochies. So
yeah,
it's definitely not a run killer in terms of like you finishing the run, but it can, if your PB has Smoochies, it can really hurt you.
At a certain level, it does get very difficult to PB without Smoochies. Like my current PB, like 53, it's 4 minutes behind record. I still have not gotten a single run with Smoochies to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've done lucky
and my
or...
PB, which is also the world record, is basically impossible to world record without having.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because you need the Peepers card, you need the Smoochies card, and then this upcoming card, which hopefully Bob will get to show off because it's like a really cool strategy.
Yeah, it makes the final boss fight really cool. It's already pretty cool, but it makes it a lot faster. But 9 times out of 10, you'll get it anyway. You'll get both the cards you need for the final boss. It's bro healing.
Yeah, so, and with these fights over here, we're using type advantage to our advantage. So, like, Superhero is really good against those star or magic enemies. Jefferson is, like, really, really good against tech enemies, and Pumpkin is good against monster. So, through a combination of just, like, type advantages, we're getting through this.
Yeah, and another thing about tech is that both Pumpkin and Superhero are weak against tech. So not only is Jefferson strong against tech, but everybody else is weak against it. So there's quite a big disadvantage there for for us fighting tech enemies. That's why we try to get Jefferson to do as much as he can against them.
But yeah, these next 2 sections can definitely make or break you. Like, if you don't get the card drops.
Nah, we're good.
Final enemy right here. Have you... Oh, man. You've had nothing but 3v3s.
Yeah, these have not been great fights. I will get to use this special here because going into lab, which is probably the hardest section in the run if you don't know what you're doing, you do need your first 2 specials ready, but the third one you don't need to have ready.
Yeah, if we had Smoochies, we would use it in this fight as like the ideal scenario. I think Smoochies has like
Smoochies, you'd use all 3 just whenever you get them.
Yeah.
But I can use that special fine because I don't need it for the next one. Because, yeah, if we did have Smoochies, we'd use a combination of Smoochies, which obviously resets everybody's special, and then Sour Dumps, which resets everybody's special, but within that fight itself. So we'd kind of keep pairing those. So every fight, it's almost, you're pretty much just resetting all your specials. We're getting close to finishing this fight here. This will end the escort section, and we'll go into lab, which is the final section of fights in the game before the final boss. So there's a little bit of setup we have to do there, just make sure our specials and stuff are ready. I got both Rice Creepies. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, there's like a quest, there's a hard quest.
Yeah, similar to Ghost Munch at the start of the game.
Anyway, we're gonna do a little bit of sneaking around with the ghost costume that we got before. Bob is gonna do some card shuffling right there to put Sour Dumps in front.
We are of course I get one enemy.
Yeah, so we have also a setup. We have like a setup for lab also. There's a couple different scenarios here, but ideally we want 2 ducks or 2 or 3 ducks in this fight so that...
Well, it's not that you want more enemies in this fight. It's more that like getting a single enemy is kind of useless here because this fight's really fast anyway. it is a bit unfortunate that this is the fight I get one enemy, because it's really not any faster than if I get 2 or 3.
Yeah, we used a combination of pumpkin special and superhero special because they basically damage everyone. We'll be spamming those as much as possible, and throughout the lab we will be also swapping costumes to like different slots so that we can use either superhero or pumpkin to just deal massive damage.
Or whatever the card Jelly Beaks yet, which slightly concerns me. I really only have 2 chances. I don't know if you can get it from the last.
I think this is the last. I've gotten a run with Jelly Beaks in this fight. So this is the last fight.
I've gotten it from the next fight. I've never gotten it from the last fight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which means I cannot use Frostbites because the backup is to use Frostbites instead.
I guess we can mention the card at this point. Yeah, so the card we're looking for, it's called Jelly Beaks. What Jelly Beaks does is, so all the cards in this game have a cooldown. So every time you use a card, you can't use it for like 2 or 3 battles. Each card has like their own numerical cooldown or whatever. So what Jelly Beaks does is it resets the cooldown so that you can basically reuse the cards again. And that
it really helps for sour dumps, because sour dumps, you essentially get 3 free uses of
and that's what comes into play with the final boss. Just utilizing the cards to your advantage, and then just if you have like the Jelly Beaks, then just do the strat again. Fortunate we got 3 people fighting this one.
Yeah, this is the one optimally you'd want to get 1 enemy. It's fine though. Doesn't really matter. Like, used to back in the day before we had this like really good special routing, you'd have a higher chance of dying in some of these fights, but it's not really a problem we run into anymore, fortunately. So I'm not worried about dying.
The nice part about this is at least all your specials
that is the one slight thing you have to worry about without smoochies, is just being too fast in your fights and not getting enough chance to build up specials again.
Yeah, because we will need max specials on everybody for the fights.
I'm slightly worried about the superhero special, but okay, she got hit here. That's okay. I might do some whoops attacks just to get her an extra hit in. But otherwise, we're fine. There's a little bit of time loss, but
I really like the last fights. Just how we've just kind of laid them out. It's so fun to just kind of last these fights.
Jelly Beaks, thank God.
Yes.
Oh, I was getting worried.
Oh my God, last possible opportunity. That is awesome.
That is really good.
Let's go.
That means we're gonna have a really fast final boss. So we got the hot dog costume from that, from the end of that piece. The hot dog we actually get to use in one fight. It's like a Cerberus dragon thing.
It's pretty
like
cool.
It's so fun. He does splash damage, and we need him to lure that guy over here. He's like the one required costume. But hey, variety. So this is like another fight where if you had like the smoochies or whatever, card, like you would have like the ideal special route and everything. You could just heal up after this route, this fight for smoochies.
Yeah, because you'd have extra, whatever. You'd like these specials that we have here that are available. We'd be able to use them in this fight.
Yeah, because
it'd speed this up. As long as you use smoochies once, you're good.
The moral of the story here is specials are very good. Use them.
Yeah, pretty optimal. Superhero's gonna be slightly low. Please hit superhero and just make this quick. That's unfortunate. Okay, I got a backup though. We'll be fine. Honestly, I could bank on. Okay, we almost had. If I had just been slightly slower on this fight. Okay, I know the backup, so no need to worry. Don't fret, chat. We're gonna be okay. I can see. I can sense everybody at home watching. Right. Oh yeah, and we have this guy. Oh, this is my favorite thing in the game. Parse knows what I'm talking about. We'll get to that in a second here.
Yeah. So now we went back to. Is it the past? This is the past. This is the.
Well, we're in the future. We're about to go to the past.
Time travel, man. It's so confusing. So we're going to follow future Dr. White.
Yeah, future Dr. White. Oh, look, a single enemy. So useless.
And yeah, because we didn't get the ideals like set up before, we're just gonna use this guy to replenish our specials for the final boss.
Honestly, I might just kill this guy for the XP. No, he's gonna heal. Why not? I don't think it matters, but
that's okay. We get more hot dog action.
Who doesn't love hot dog?
I love hot dogs. Who doesn't love hot dogs? Especially when a hot dog looks like that.
Wiggling its tail too. Do you see that?
He's so cute. And then he rolls over after you win the fight.
Yeah, that's just my dog. My dog also has 3 heads. Don't think about it.
You know what? That's
after
normal,
talking to Dr. White. So you see that skeleton over there? Pay attention to it.
Yeah, the skeleton in the bottom right. Just keep looking in that bottom right. Oh, look, it's a kid.
It's a kid.
I don't want to think about the implications of that.
Well, you can think about the implications of this. Don't think about it when we go back. I think is the important thing. All you've seen is a skeleton turn into a child.
Yeah. So right here, we're going to use the wizard to get some footprints because we're trying to locate the kid Oral. Bring him back to the future.
What we learned from Dr. White is that to get into his secret compound, the secret warehouse, he used a retina scan. And so we're like, how do we get a retina scan of Dr. White? It's like, well, why don't we just go to find the child Dr. White? We already found him. And now we get to look at our friend again. Look in the bottom right. Bye, friend.
Bye.
Oh, God, he's dead.
No, he's fine. That's not him. That's just a skull someone put there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that just happened to be there. It is funny that the kid's in a skeleton costume. It's just small little bits of humor like that are kind of sprinkled all throughout the game. That's why I love playing this game so much.
And now here's our kind of like nice little breather before the final boss. I kind of like the warehouse. It's like
this is a pretty big section because this is like Dr. White's secret warehouse. What does he have in here? A bunch of Halloween houses, that he can trick or treat at,
and also a bunch of references to like Costume Quest 1. There's like a couple of the costumes are over here.
It's also really sad. We'll get to it in a second after this next house. But you can see his house, like the one we've recognized from the bayou, and his mom is a cardboard cutout. You can see it right there. His mom is a cardboard cutout, and in his like fantasy land of Halloween and trick-or-treating, his mom says stuff like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, Oral. I love you." It's like what a messed up child.
And there's Raz over there, by the way. Shout out to Psychonauts.
Yeah, so Dr. White, we're kind of learning he might not actually be evil. He might have just been traumatized by his mother.
Yeah. You know, he has a very valid reason for becoming evil. And not getting to celebrate Halloween sucks. I would turn into an evil ruler.
You would enslave a whole race of people and make them do your bidding.
Oh, I mean, Dr. White's a good guy. He's just trying to get people to brush their teeth. Smell of that.
Are you really pulling the like he's not evil, he's just misunderstood card right now?
Exactly.
And off to the final boss. This is really cool. Unlike Big Bones, this is like always 100% consistent, and it's just really fast. So it's just cool to see the routing. Harsh can kind of explain what I'm doing as I go through.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna start off by using the pumpkin special to damage everyone, and we're gonna be we're gonna use peepers on Jefferson so that we can do massive damage.
Yeah, almost 800 damage in one hit is insane.
Yeah. So that's just the first turn. We're doing a lot of damage. And then second turn, we're going to be taking out one of his picks. And then Superhero Special will finish off like the pick, and Jefferson will finish off final pick. That's one of those cases where I don't know if we explained amazing hits or anything yet, but amazings are just basically small little bones. So after that phase, we're going to use Sour Dumps to regenerate everyone's specials. We're going to use Jelly Beaks right there to replenish our cards so that we can use them again.
Yes, we get a second use of Peepers and Sour Dumps. So without that, we would have had to use a Frostbites, which is just like the single special replenisher, which is not the greatest.
Correct.
Definitely.
Now in this phase, we're going to be doing the same thing we did before. Special spamming with Pumpkin and Superhero, and then finishing off with Jefferson to get rid of his blasters. Then, since we have like extra specials left over, now we're gonna just finish off Dr. White with
and
specials.
time's coming up here in the next probably 10-15 seconds here. It's on once the fade out after defeating Dr. White is when time will be. So we're gonna get one more hit here and then one more special. We're almost done. And then on the fade out here is time. So 3, 2, 1, and time. And that is Costume Quest 2, 80%. Pretty happy with that. And what's cool is after you beat the game, you skip through all these cutscenes and stuff. You get to wake up you're back in Auburn Pines, and you get to talk to everybody you've met along the way. If you talk to Dr. White, he's like, or we ask him if he's still evil. He's like, no, I love Halloween. It brings in more kids because of course, more kids eating candy means more cavities. It means more business for him. So he's actually a good guy now. But a lot of the people we met along the way are here. Here's Harmonious Mink. Everybody loves him. Monty's over here somewhere with his gator. So yeah, just a bunch of cool stuff. A lot of references to the first and second game here.
Yeah, like there's Drusilla right there and her brother or something.
Dorian, I think is the name. Yeah. There's cool revision shading. Yeah, it's just it's a cool little end credits area. They definitely put a lot of time into this.
It's like a nice interactive credits. I kind of like those.
It's very nice. I love those a lot.
Yeah, so this is a pretty cool area, but that is the Costume Quest series. We've shown you all there is. I'll shout out a couple things. Obviously, we talked about Lord Chrome and Deathmaster, two big glitch hunters in the community. Mr. Hetty, new runner, and his brother Xenix, I think. I forget.
Xenix, yeah.
Xenix. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to the
and then
everybody else in the community. Echo Tree, who is a newish runner. She's been running the game since about this time last year, I think, or maybe it's earlier this year.
Yeah, it was at the beginning or something. But
yeah, she's running a couple other events, Flame Fatales. I've helped her commentate for some other stuff too. So just shout outs to everybody. I think that's probably about it. If you guys are at all interested in playing any of these games, they're pretty cheap. You could also probably find them on sale rather often. I know for the Steam Summer Sale.
They're probably on sale right now because it's like Halloween. But yeah, these are like really, really fun games casually if you've never played them. Especially if you like basically Paper Mario Light. Like, it's like super nice and cute. And they're short enough. You can beat in under 10 hours, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a good time. If you guys are at all interested in speedrunning the game, you can find our Discord on the speedrun.com page for any of the games, Costume Quest 1, Grubbins on Ice, or Costume Quest 2. We have a lot of resources. There's an 80% tutorial for both the games, or I guess all three of the runs. There's a lot of resources on just how to do different things, on a lot of the stats and stuff we have behind the scenes, a lot of the routes. A lot of different guides. We try to do our best to help out new community members as well. So if you guys want to join the Discord and ask any questions, people are there to help you out.
We're all friends here. I like to think.
Yeah. And my last shout out is, of course, to Harsh. Thank you for helping me, obviously motivating me to play this game, but also, helping showcase the series that I put so much time into. So I really appreciate you being around and being a good friend. So that's been all I got. Harsh, if you got anything else to say, you can go and give your shout outs or good.
Yeah, just thank you, Bob, for being here with me. We went through Costume Quest 1 and 2 together. And it was like really fun just kind of seeing the evolution of the games. Not even in just the stream necessarily, just in general, just from what we brought it from before to after all the new strats. Like, it's been so fun, like, routing this game over the last couple years, making tutorials, changing routes. And, even just like small things, like, we watched the Costume Quest cartoon. Yes, there is a Costume Quest cartoon.
There is a TV show.
TV show, yes. It's on Amazon Prime. It's really, really fun. If you played the Costume Quest games, it is like a treat to watch. Just to see all the little references, cute gags here and there. It's a 8 out of 10 show for me. And shout outs to everyone in the community. We've already mentioned Deathmaster, but Deathmaster's also done so much for like both games, just finding like tricks, glitches, and like helping like routing and optimizing everything. It's been a blast. And like Bob said, if you want to join the Discord, we have the Discord page on the speedrun.com page for both Costume Quest 1, 2, and Drubbins on Ice. We are a good community. We're small, but we are big in heart.
Big in heart, big in candy as well.
And big in candy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if people want to find each of you on your channels, where can they do so?
I'm just Bob Loves Cheese, just like you see it on the screen there on Twitch and on YouTube. I really only post my PBs, but I'll probably be posting some tutorials there as well. I stream very occasionally, I'll admit, but you can go follow me there as well.
Yep, and then you can find me on Twitch with Harsh ESC, like the escape key, and on YouTube I'm just Harsh. I basically just upload speedrun VODs usually. Sometimes I do other fun stuff from time to time, but yeah, I definitely interact a lot with the community, I'd say.
All right. Thank you both so much for an amazing episode of Perilous Paths with the entire Costume Quest series, celebrating again the 15th anniversary, almost to the day of this series releasing. If y'all liked these runners and this run, please consider go following Bob and Harsh on their respective Twitch channels, and of course getting these games yourself and trying them out if you think they're going to be a good speedrun for you. We will be right back. Stay tuned for the Scenic Route, my show, after the break real quick. And of course, before we head over to intermission, I just want to say thank you to everyone for supporting Games Done Quick with like your subs, your gift subs, and the bits cheered. Your contributions really help keep these shows running. And if you're enjoying the stream, consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and access to chat during the replays that come after the second show of the night is over. And you can also always support the stream by sharing James and Quick channel with your friends. And you want to share with your friends now because we have even more show to come up after this intermission. So please stay tuned for the Scenic Route, where we will start with Phasmophobia.